She said, "Stop wasting money on your stupid car project, it'll never run." I replied, "You're probably right." Then I finished restoring it anyway. When the auction house called offering $180,000 for my waste of money, I, 38 male, just sold my 1969 Dodge Charger RT for more money than I've ever seen in my life. My ex-girlfriend Monica, 36, is now claiming she deserves half because we were building a life together. Let me tell you how we got here. 3 years ago, I found the Charger sitting in an old barn. Guy was selling his late father's property, didn't know what he had. The car was rough, rust, seized engine, interior destroyed by mice. But I knew what it was. Numbers matching 440 Magnum, factory Hemi orange, one of maybe 200 made with that exact configuration. Bought it for $8,500 cash, money I'd been saving for 5 years. Monica and I had been dating about 6 months when I bought it. She was not happy. $8,000 for a pile of rust? Are you insane? It's a genuine RT, Mon. These are getting rare. It doesn't even run. You could have bought a nice used Honda. I tried explaining the potential value, the history, the fact that barn finds like this were getting harder to find. She rolled her eyes. Boys and their toys. What a waste. I stored it at my buddy Rick's shop. He had space. I paid him $200 a month for the bay. Started working on it every weekend. Monica's response was constant negativity. Another Saturday at that stupid garage. How much did you waste on parts this week? You smell like motor oil. It's gross. You care more about that rust bucket than me. The thing is, I wasn't neglecting her. We still did date nights. I still paid for dinners, trips, whatever. But God forbid I spend my Saturday afternoons working on my project with my money. Year 1 was mostly disassembly and rust repair. Spent maybe $4,000 on materials, tools, replacement panels. Monica kept a running tally. That's $12,000 on a car that doesn't run. Actually, it's $12,500 if you count the storage, she'd say, like she was doing math for a federal audit. Year 2, rebuilt the engine. Complete overhaul. New pistons, cam, heads machined, the works. Another $6,000. Monica lost it. $18,000. You could have bought an actual working car. It'll be worth more when it's done. If it's ever done. If it ever runs. You're delusional. The breaking point came 6 months ago. I'd finally got it running. Rough, but running. Took a video of the first startup after 2.5 years. The 440 roaring to life. That beautiful exhaust note. I was emotional, not gonna lie. Posted it online and the car community went nuts. Got over 50K views in a week. That's when the offers started coming in. First was a guy offering $35,000 as is. Monica saw the message. Wait, someone wants to pay 35 grand? Yeah, but I'm not selling. Still needs paint, interior, chrome work. Are you stupid? Take the money. That's double what you put in. It's not about the money, Mon. It's about finishing what I started. She called me an idiot and didn't talk to me for 3 days. Then came the kicker. I entered it in a local car show. Primer gray, half-assembled interior, but running and driving. Won best work in progress. The trophy was stupid plastic, worth maybe $10. But Monica saw the reaction from other collectors, saw the crowds around my rust bucket. Suddenly her tune changed a little. Maybe you should get it appraised for insurance purposes. Already did. Came back at $65,000 in current condition. Her jaw dropped. 65. You should sell it now. Nope, getting it painted next month. With what money? The money I've been saving. Remember my stupid car fund you always mock? If that fight was brutal. She accused me of being selfish, financially irresponsible, obsessed with a dumb old car. Said I was choosing the Charger over our future. What future, Monica? The one where you constantly belittle my interests. I'm trying to help you see reality. The reality where my rust bucket is worth 65 grand and climbing. She stormed out. We didn't break up that night, but it was coming. 2 weeks later, I found out why she was really mad. Update 1. The paint job was what ended us, but not how you'd think. I'd saved up $12,000 for professional paint and body. Full rotisserie restoration, laser straight panels, show quality finish in the original Hemi orange. Monica found the shop invoice on my desk. $12,000 for paint? It's a complete body restoration, not just paint. That's insane. That's a down payment on a house. It's my money, Monica. We've been together 3 years. When do you start thinking about US instead of that car? Here's what I didn't know. Monica had been telling her friends and family that we were saving for a house together. That my savings were our savings. She'd been looking at rings on Pinterest, planning a future with money that wasn't hers. Monica, we've never discussed buying a house together. Because you're too busy playing mechanic. But when we get married, who said anything about marriage? The look on her face, like I'd slapped her. 3 years, Daniel. 3 years. And for 3 years you've done nothing but criticize my hobby. It's not a hobby when you're spending $30,000. $32,000 actually. And it's worth more than double that now. She packed her stuff that night. But here's where it gets interesting. She didn't take everything. Left clothes, jewelry, makeup. I texted her about it. I'll get them later. Need time to process. Fine, whatever. I had a car to finish. The paint job took 3 weeks. When I got it back, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Show quality finish, better than factory. Posted photos online. Thing looked like it rolled off the assembly line in 1969. That's when Barrett Jackson reached out. For those who don't know, Barrett Jackson is one of the premier collector car auction houses. They wanted my Charger for their upcoming event. Said cars like mine, properly documented restorations of rare muscle cars, were bringing serious money. I was curious, so I submitted the documentation. Every receipt, every photo, every part number, the story of finding it in the barn. 3 years of work documented. They called back the next day. Based on recent sales and the quality of restoration, we estimate $150,000 to $180,000. I nearly dropped the phone. $180,000. I agreed to consign it. Auction was in 6 weeks. That's when Monica reappeared. Update 2, Monica showed up at Rick's shop while I was detailing the Charger for the auction. She looked different, designer clothes, fresh highlights, full makeup, had some dude with her, tall guy in a suit. Daniel, we need to talk. Monica, it's been 2 months. You here for your stuff? This is my cousin Trevor. He's a lawyer, at the shop, with Monica. This was going to be good. Trevor stepped forward with his briefcase. Mr. Carter, my client has retained me to discuss the equitable distribution of assets accumulated during your relationship. I actually laughed. What assets? We were dating, not married. Monica's face went hard. That car, Daniel, I supported you for 3 years while you built it. Supported me? You mocked me every single day. I paid for groceries, dinners. I contributed to our life while you spent everything on that car. We split groceries 50-50. I have 3 years of Venmo receipts, and I paid for most dinners. Trevor pulled out papers. My client recalls differently. She has documented emotional labor, household contributions, and opportunity costs. Opportunity costs? Monica jumped in. I could have been dating someone who actually wanted a future. Instead, I invested 3 years in you. Rick, God bless him, was trying not to laugh in the background. Monica, you lived in my apartment. I paid rent. You contributed $400 a month for utilities and groceries. That's it. I helped with the car. Name one thing you did. I gave you emotional support. You called it a rust bucket literally yesterday on Instagram. Yeah, I'd seen her posts. Bitter stuff about men who love cars more than women and dodged a bullet with that mechanic wannabe. Trevor tried again. Mr. Carter, Michigan recognizes palimony in certain circumstances. We never lived together formally. She had her own place. She just stayed over a lot. She had a key. So does my neighbor, to feed my cat when I travel. Monica was getting desperate. That car is worth almost $200,000. You couldn't have done it without me. How? How did you help? Name one specific thing. I sacrificed. While you spent every weekend at that garage, I waited. Nobody asked you to wait. In fact, you spent those weekends with your friends, spending money at wineries and posting about it. I have the Instagram receipts. Then she played what she thought was her ace. I'm pregnant. The shop went dead silent. Rick dropped a wrench. Excuse me? I'm pregnant, Daniel. 6 weeks. I did the math real quick. Monica, I had a vasectomy 5 years ago. Her face went white. Trevor started shuffling papers nervously. That's not, you're lying. Got the paperwork in my truck. Also got tested last year to make sure it took. Shooting blanks, Monica. Trevor closed his briefcase. I think we're done here. Trevor, you're my lawyer. You told me you were pregnant with his child. That changes things. She turned on the waterworks. Daniel, please, I made a mistake, but we were together for 3 years. That has to count for something. It does. It counts as 3 years of you belittling my passion while planning to spend money I earned. She tried one more angle. I'll go public. Tell everyone how you used me and threw me away when you got rich. Go ahead. I have 3 years of texts where you call my project stupid, worthless, and a waste of money. Plus that post from last week calling me a broke grease monkey playing pretend mechanic. She stormed out. Trevor mumbled an apology and followed. Thought that was the end. Nope. Update 3. Monica went nuclear. First, she called my mom. Told her I'd abandoned her while pregnant. Mom called me panicking until I explained the vasectomy situation. Then Mom got pissed at Monica. That lying little witch. I never liked her. Then Monica tried calling my insurance company, claiming to be my wife, trying to get information about the Chargers policy. They called me to verify, and I had them flag the account, but the peak desperation came when she showed up at the Barrett-Jackson preview day. I was there with the Charger, talking to potential bidders. The car looked incredible under the lights, had serious collectors examining every detail. And there's Monica, dressed to kill, walking up like she owns the place. Started telling people she was my partner and sharing our restoration story. 3 years of hard work, but we never gave up. A collector asked her about the engine rebuild. She fumbled. Oh yes, the engine. We put in a big one. What size? The biggest one. The guy looked at me, confused. I stepped in. It's a numbers matching 440 Magnum, 375 horsepower factory rated. She wasn't involved in the restoration. Monica tried to save face. I was his emotional support. An older lady collector laughed. Honey, I've been restoring cars for 40 years. Emotional support doesn't rebuild carburetors. Security eventually escorted Monica out after she started yelling about community property and common law marriage. The auction officials were not amused. That night, she had her mom call me. Donna was always reasonable, so I took the call. Daniel, I'm sorry about Monica, but you have to understand she saw a future with you. She saw dollar signs, Donna. That's not fair. She loved you. She loved the idea of me funding her lifestyle. Did she tell you she claimed to be pregnant? Long pause. She what? Asked for money, claimed pregnancy, forgot I'd had a vasectomy. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Daniel. I didn't raise her to be this way. Not your fault, Donna. How much is the car worth now? Auction estimate is $150 to $180. Whistle. Good for you, Han. You earned it. At least someone in that family had class. Update 4. Holy shit, the auction was insane. My Charger came up in the prime Saturday night slot, reserved for the best cars. The arena was packed. Bidding started at $80,000, hit $100,000 in 30 seconds, $120,000 after a minute. 2 serious collectors got into a bidding war. One guy who owns a muscle car museum, another who's known for having the best private Mopar collection in the country. $140,000, $160,000, $175,000. My hands were shaking. $180,000, $185,000. Going once, going twice, $190, someone shouted from the back. Sold. $190,000, $190,000. For my rust bucket, my waste of money, my stupid project that would never run. After fees, I netted about $170,000. I was standing there in shock when my phone exploded. Monica had been watching the live stream. You lied about the price. No, the estimate was $150 to $180. It went over. I deserve half. Of what? My car that I bought with my money and restored with my labor? I'll sue. Good luck with that. She tried. She actually tried. Final update. Monica actually filed a lawsuit. Small claims court for the maximum $10,000. Her claim was unjust enrichment and breach of implied contract. I showed up with a folder of evidence, 3 years of receipts showing I paid for everything related to the car, screenshots of her calling it worthless, the vasectomy papers, judge got a kick out of that, Venmo history showing we split household expenses fairly. Her evidence? Photos of us together and a handwritten ledger of supposed expenses that mysteriously had no receipts. Judge took about 5 minutes. Ma'am, you were dating. He owned the car before you met. He paid for all restoration. You have no claim. Case dismissed. But wait, there's more. She'd been telling people she was pregnant to gain sympathy. Word got around to her actual boyfriend. Yeah, she'd started dating someone new immediately after we broke up. Turns out she told him the baby was his. He dumped her when he found out about the lie. Her mom called me one last time. Daniel, I'm mortified. She admitted she was never pregnant. She thought if she could get money from you, she could impress Bradley. Bradley, the new boyfriend, a finance guy who apparently only dated women with money. I'm sorry she put you through this, Donna. You know what the saddest part is? If she'd just been supportive, you probably would have shared some of the windfall with her anyway. She was right. If Monica had been a real partner, had supported the dream instead of mocking it, I probably would have bought her a car or paid off her student loans or something. But she showed her true colors. As for me, I paid off my house, invested most of the rest, and bought another project car, a 1970 Plymouth Cuda that needs everything. Already started documenting the restoration. My new girlfriend Anna thinks it's awesome. She's actually learning to weld so she can help with the floor pans. Last weekend, she surprised me with a parts catalog she'd researched and organized by priority. That's the difference between a partner and a parasite. Monica still posts bitter memes about men who love cars more than women. Last I heard, she was trying to date some crypto guy who drives a leased BMW. Good luck with that. The Charger? The buyer put it in his museum with a placard telling its story. He sent me photos. Thousands of people see it every year. My rust bucket. My waste of money. My stupid project car that would never run, worth every penny, every hour, every argument. And Monica? She gets nothing except a reputation as the woman who tried to gold dig a car she spent 3 years calling worthless. Karma's got a Hemi and it runs perfect. Edit, since a lot of you asked, yes, I still have all the restoration photos, made a coffee table book of them. And yes, the new Cuda is coming along nicely. Anna and I are documenting everything. She started her own Instagram just for the build. Her welds are already better than mine were year one. Also, Monica tried reaching out last week asking to talk about closure. I sent her a photo of the museum placard. That's all the closure she needs.